They told us we were building a fairer society. They told us equality would make us free. But equality wasn't the destination, it was bait. And now the trap is closing. Equality sounds noble. Who could oppose it? Who would dare say, I don't believe in equality? They'd be instantly condemned. But that's the genius of this lie. It's a Trojan horse on the outside. Compassion, fairness, kindness. On the inside, control, censorship and division. Once you invite it through the gates, your freedom is gone. We're not dealing with equality in its true sense. Equality before God. Equality before the law. No, this is something else. They rebranded it. They mutated it. They called it diversity, equity and inclusion. But what does equity really mean? Well, it means equal outcomes, not equal opportunity. It means lowering the strong and silencing the talented, till everyone is equally weak, equally dependent, equally powerless. Just look at our institutions today. In the NHS, people aren't promoted because they save the most lives or they're the best surgeon. They do it because they tick the right diversity boxes. In the police, officers are climbing the ranks not because of the courage on the streets, but because of how well they play the politics of identity. Even in the military, loyalty and competence are being replaced by quotas and political obedience. This is not equality, it's the death of merit. It's a system designed to promote narcissists who will sell out the people for a title and a pension. And it's all dressed up in Orwellian doublespeak. Words don't mean what they used to mean. Freedom is slavery, ignorance is strength, equality is tyranny. If you want to see where this road ends, go and read George Orwell's 1984. What was once a warning is now literally a blueprint, and we're getting closer and closer than any of us dare admit. Now let's talk about language, because today language is a battlefield. In Orwell's book 1984, they used newspeak, and that was a language designed not to express the truth, but to erase it instead. Because if you control the words, you control the people. And we've got the exact same examples today. You've got hate speech. Now that sounds like it's protecting people, but it's actually censoring. You've got misinformation. Sounds like it's correcting lies, but it's silencing facts that challenge the narrative. Gender affirming care sounds lovely, but actually it's chemical castration, and irreversible surgeries on kids. And it goes on, inclusion, diversity. It's all just twists on words, and everything's designed to give you the opposite of what it actually means. Every phrase has a mask, and just like in 1984, if you repeat the slogans often enough, people stop questioning them. And this is how the tyranny advances. Not with guns at first, but with words. And so I do suggest that you go and read Orwell's 1984, because what he warned about all those years ago, it's not fiction anymore. It is literally coming true. It is headlines. Then they weaponised compassion. They told us all, if you don't accept this ideology, you're cruel, you're hateful, you're a bigot. So people just stay silent, don't they? They bowed their heads, nodded, listened to the slogans, but every time you kneel to a lie, the lie gets stronger and stronger. Just look at the free speech laws creeping across Europe right now. People getting arrested for posts like this on social media, and the so-called tolerant activists, the left-wingers perhaps, they're all cheering it on, not because they value kindness, but because they value control over the rest of us. Please make no mistake, this isn't about kindness in the slightest. This is tyranny in disguise. They don't want diversity of thought, they want conformity of thought. They don't want inclusion of all voices, they want exclusion of the voices that challenge them. They don't want equity of opportunity, they want control of the outcome. And these slogans that we all hear, they're the camouflage. The system underneath is absolutely totalitarian. Just ask yourself this. If this was truly about diversity, why are conservative voices banned from campuses while radical activists are given the microphone and all of the voice? Notice what equality has really produced. More division than ever before. We've got men against women, black against white, gay against straight, citizen against immigrant. They've been slicing society into these little fragments and then setting us all off against each other, while the real tyrants are sat up above just laughing their heads off. Divide and conquer is literally the oldest strategy in the book, and they're running it perfectly. Fueling all of this division as well are these professional agitators. It's becoming quite clear now that there's an organised force who jump from cause to cause. They're essentially parasites. They rock up with their unison placards, and they know exactly where they're going. They've even been busted by the police. But these same people turn up at different events. One week they're Extinction Rebellion and they're gluing themselves to the road. Next week they're BLM and they're demanding censorship. Then they got masked up and they become Antifa, and these guys, like, they claim to be anti-fascist, but the smashing up property being far more fascist than anyone. They're not free thinking, they're literally programmed followers. They're fed a load of slogans, given a load of money, definitely given the media coverage, and then, you know, set on direction, go to attack. They obviously believe that they're on the right side of history, you know, but they're just being wound up by the elites who essentially point them in the direction and say, go. And the other side of that same coin is those that get to the top of their institutions, and you see it right across the country, you know, universities, corporations, even the government. You know, those people that get to the top of the ladder, not necessarily the wisest or the most honest or those with integrity, they're more narcissistic enough, ruthless enough to be able to play the political game and not really care who gets hurt in the process. You know, they're all parroting whatever slogan, kneeling when they're supposed to, you know, and they'll then throw their colleagues under the bus, stab them in the back, and, you know, they'll just crack on as normal. But in return, they're rewarded with prestige, power, you know, money, whatever it is. But you can see it, you know, they're just selling their own people down the river, us, because this system that's in place now, the broken system, rewards betrayal. It rewards cowardice, and it rewards obedience. This is this new religion of equity. So what we're seeing right now is, you know, we've essentially got from both angles. We've got the agitators, the paid agitators on the street, and then you've got the narcissists in the boardroom, and in between is us lot. And, you know, we've just got chaos and destruction at both ends. And, you know, exactly what's going to happen is that tyranny is going to end up on top if it's allowed to carry on. And here's the truth bombshell that affects all of us. Silence equals consent. Every time you don't speak, every time you look away, every time you think, you know what, it doesn't affect me, I'm all right, Jack, you're giving them permission. And this permission is all that this tyranny needs. You know, think about neighbours who bubbled each other during COVID, or, you know, watch businesses getting destroyed by peaceful protests, never said anything. Think about all the parents that sat quietly while schools are pushing these radical agendas onto their children. Silence isn't neutral or doing the right thing, it is surrender. So do we continue down this road where freedom of speech, freedom of thought, freedom of conscience, and they're all being crushed in the name of equity? Or do we stand up, tear off this mask and call it exactly what it is, oppression wrapped in virtue signalling? I want you to remember this. God didn't make us all equal, he made us unique. Each one of us carries a spark of the divine, but each one of us has different gifts, different strengths, different callings. And this is what makes humanity so beautiful. The equality of spirit is found in love, respect, and dignity, not something that binds us all together in sameness. So what they call equality is nothing less than a rebellion against God's design for us all. So here's the call to action. Will you accept this Trojan horse, or will you burn it before it's too late? Equality was never the goal. Tyranny was always the plan. And now, my brothers and sisters, the choice is yours. We are the nation of sleepers. We are waking up, but please don't go back to sleep.